Apple is expected to release 4 new iPhone models. If Apple's current naming convention holds up, they will be called the iPhone 14. This year, Apple will likely discontinue the mini model with a 4.7-inch screen, according to reports. Instead, Apple could offer 2 sizes, one with a 6.1-inch screen and one with a 6.7-inch screen, each coming in a standard model and a pricier Pro model. Since 2017, iPhones have included a space at the top of the phone's display with space for Apple's Face ID system, which includes several sensors and a camera. The Pro models could ditch Apple's notch where it houses the Face ID camera for a slimmer, more streamlined pill or cutout approach with a smaller space that has to remain blank, leaving room for an even larger display. The Pro models are also expected to get upgraded to 16 processors and cameras. The camera bump is expected to get larger. Apple could release an always-on screen display for showing notifications, like some Android phones have sported for years. One of the biggest questions is how Apple will price its iPhones in a period of inflation around the world and macroeconomic uncertainty in some regions. Apple released the AirPods Pro in October 2019, and nearly 3 years later, rumors suggest an update to the wireless headphones is finally imminent. The second-generation AirPods Pro are widely expected to launch later this year with several new features, including an upgrade to the H1 chip that powers features like active noise cancellation, support for Apple lossless audio playback, updated motion sensors for expanded fitness tracking capabilities, a new charging case that can emit a sound when lost, a skin detect sensor for improved in-ear detection, and more. It is also likely that the charging case for the new AirPods Pro will be water-resistant, like the third-generation AirPods charging case. Back in 2020, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman and Debbie Wu reported that Apple tested a more compact design for the new AirPods Pro that would eliminate the stems that drop below the earbuds, similar to Apple's Beats Studio Buds. However, more recent rumors suggest that the new AirPods Pro will not have any significant design changes. A sketchy report that claimed the next AirPods Pro would feature heart rate detection, hearing aid capabilities, and a USB-C charging case also appears to be false. Gurman also expects Apple to release new 11-inch and 12.9-inch iPad Pro models with M2 chips and support for MagSafe wireless charging later this year. The new iPad Pro models will feature the same chassis design as the current models, with the exception of new 4-pin connectors on the top and bottom edges, according to Japanese blog Mac Otakaru. The purpose of these connectors is unclear. Apple last updated its iPad Pro line in April 2021, with new features including the Moan chip, a Thunderbolt port, 5G support for cellular models, a brighter display on the 12.9-inch model, and an upgraded 12-megapixel front camera with support for Apple's Center Stage feature, which helps keep you within the frame in video apps like FaceTime. Apple plans to launch a new Apple TV with an improved cost structure in the second half of 2022, according to analyst Min-Chai Kuo. It's unclear if Apple plans to pass on the cost savings to customers by lowering the price of the new Apple TV. The new Apple TV is in development with an A14 chip and 4 GB of RAM, according to Gurman, but it's unclear if this model is the same one that Kuo referred to. Either way, the internal upgrades would result in faster performance compared to the current Apple TV 4K, which is equipped with an A12 chip and 3 GB of RAM. Released in April 2021, the current Apple TV 4K starts at $179 with 32 GB of storage, while the Apple TV HD remains available for $149. By comparison, there are many streaming sticks from brands like Chromecast and Roku available for between $25 and $100. Apple is expected to update its entry-level iPad later this year with a new design consisting of a larger 10.5-inch display, a USB-C port, and a flat-edge chassis with a rear camera bump. While the 10th generation iPad is expected to retain a Touch ID home button, rumors suggest the device will no longer have a headphone jack. Apple released the 9th generation iPad in September 2021, with key features including a 10.2-inch display and a 13 Bionic chip, an upgraded 12-megapixel front camera with support for the Center Stage feature, True Tone, and double the base storage. After announcing the Mac Studio at its March 2022 event, Apple teased that an Apple Silicon version of the Mac Pro Tower was coming later. Back in 2020, Apple said its transition from Intel processors to Apple Silicon chips across the Mac lineup would take around 2 years to be completed, so the new Mac Pro is expected to be announced by the end of 2022. The new Mac Pro will be equipped with M2 Ultra and M2 Extreme chips, according to Gurman. It's possible the new Mac Pro will be smaller due to the switch to Apple Silicon, but it's unclear if the desktop computer will have any major design changes compared to the current Intel-based model released in December 2019. The new Mac Pro would be the fastest Mac ever, topping the Mac Studio with the M1 Ultra chip. show the 8th major new version of its watch next week. Last year, the Apple Watch Series 7 got a slightly larger screen, but the redesign did not significantly change the look and feel of the device, which has remained mostly the same since 2014. Expect more evolution this year too. Apple is considering a body temperature sensor in the new devices, according to the Wall Street Journal, which could help with fertility and sleep tracking. Other sleep tracking features could include the ability to detect advanced sleep patterns or apnea. But the biggest Apple Watch Series 8 announcement could be a new Pro model with a bigger screen and more durable finish. Apple has previously released Apple Watches with pricey case materials such as gold, ceramic, and titanium. And the new Pro model described by Bloomberg and Q could be one of the first high-end Apple Watches to gain additional features over its less expensive siblings. Also likely, a new updated version of the Apple Watch SE. Its $329 entry-level watch model.